The purpose of this video is to provide you with instructions on how to import the speech assessment so that you can use it in your courses. The first step is to log into Canvas. Once you log into Canvas, you will access the Commons, which is available on the global navigation menu. After you open up the Commons, you're going to put on a filter because right now there are too many results for us to look for the assessment. So come over to the filter button at the top right and scroll down and filter it so that you only see resources that are shared at Valencia College. Then go back up and hit the X next to filter results to close the tab. The speech assessment shows up first. However, if it doesn't show up in this menu for you, you can type it in the search bar. Just put in speech assessment. And it has a microphone as the image and it's shared by Rose Tran. So after you click on the speech assessment, you will see a preview with some instructions. This assignment has outcomes added to a rubric that will be used for assessment purposes. The score that students receive on the outcomes will not count toward the student's total score on the assignment. Instructors may edit the instructions on this assignment and the rubric to include their own criteria, ratings, and points. However, do not remove the outcomes that are already in the rubric. So by importing this assignment into your course, you're making the outcomes available so that you can use it for assessment purposes. So click on the blue import button and the tab will open. You'll see all of your courses listed here. So go ahead and import it into all the CRNs that you will use for the assessment. I'm going to import it into one of my sandboxes just for the purpose of this tutorial. Scroll all the way down and select the import into course blue button. After that, you'll get a green success message when the import has successfully started. Now you can go to the dashboard and open up your CRN. So when you open up your course, go into the assignments tab on your course menu, and you will see that speech assessment in your course. It might be listed underneath this group or a separate group called imported assignments. If you click on it, you will see some instructions. You can basically modify the assessment. So if you hit the edit button, you can change the name of this assignment. You can remove my instructions here and put your own instructions for the students. You can change the points, put a different submission type. You can change the due date. You can do whatever you want here. You can also modify the rubric. So once you import this assignment from the Commons, you'll see the rubric has the outcomes in it. Here's the first outcome. If you want to read more information about it, just select View Longer Description. If you want to read more about the second outcome, just select the View Longer Description next to it. And you'll see that even though it's out of 4 points, the total points don't count toward the student's grade. Now you can edit this rubric however you want by clicking on the icon to the top right of a pencil. The pencil is the edit button. And you can edit this criterion or add a new criterion. At the end of all of that, make sure you select Use this rubric for assignment grading and then push Update Rubric. The second part of this step is to turn on the Learning Mastery Gradebook, and you'll do that by scrolling down to the settings, and across the top you'll see some blue tabs. Click on the one that says Feature Options and make sure that these two that say Learning Mastery Gradebook and Student Learning Mastery Gradebook are turned on. Make sure they appear green. This allows you to see the outcomes report in your grades tab, and then it also allows students to see their report when they click on grades. Once you have imported the assignment from the Commons and turned on the Learning Mastery Gradebook and the Student Learning Mastery Gradebook, you're now ready to assess your students using the outcomes. So open up your assignment. Make sure it is published so that SpeedGrader shows up. If you click on SpeedGrader, you'll be taken to a new menu, and over here at the top right, you'll see in this menu a list of all of your students. This course specifically only has a test student because it's a FATE course. The View Rubric button is on the right, and when you click on it, it opens up. If you need more space, you can put your mouse on the 6 dots here and move it to the left until you feel comfortable. You can give students grades now. Let's just choose 3 for this one and 4 for this one. And if you can't remember what this one is about, just view the longer description. And here's the other longer description. And go ahead and give your student a score. I'm going to give the student 10 points. And you'll notice that even though I gave the student 3 points for the first outcome and 4 points for the second outcome, those points didn't factor into the student's overall grade. After you finish, click Save, and you are now ready to move on to the next student. If you want to view what this looks like in the Learning Mastery Gradebook, open up your Gradebook. And you'll see 2 tabs here at the top left. You'll see the grades, where the grade now appears underneath the speech assessment. And you'll also see a tab up here called Learning Mastery. And you can see here what the test student got for the first outcome, a 4, and what the student got on the second outcome, which is a 3. And you'll be able to see the outcomes data report for all of your students. So what if you have already created your own assignment that you would like to use for the assessment? No worries, you're still going to import this speech assessment from the Commons because doing so activates the outcomes that you need. However, after importing the speech assessment, you can go ahead and delete it. Now when you go to Outcomes, you'll see that the 2 outcomes are listed in this menu. Here's the first one, and here's the second one. So all you have to do now is add these 2 outcomes to an assignment rubric that you have. So let's go back to assignments and open up the assignment that you want to add those outcomes to. And you can add those outcomes to an existing rubric by hitting the pencil icon, which allows you to edit the rubric. And when you select Find Outcome here, you'll see these 2 outcomes listed. So go ahead and select the first one. Once you click on the outcome, you'll see a description of it here, including all of the ratings. And the most important part is that you uncheck this box next to use this criterion for scoring, because you don't want the student's score to impact their score for the entire assignment. Scroll down and hit import. And now you'll see that the outcome has been added to your rubric. So go ahead and repeat that step by selecting Find Outcome and import the second one. Make sure you uncheck this box and then hit import. So now you'll see your rubric here with the original criterion, or criteria maybe, and then you'll see the 2 outcomes that will be used for the speech assessment added below. And even though it says 4 points here, those 8 points don't factor into the total score because we unchecked that box. You can make any other changes that you want to your rubric and then go down and select Use this rubric for assignment grading, check that, and then select Update Rubric.